Good evening. Good evening. This is a new channel named Julio, dedicated to the troll community here in the Philippines. Today's live stream. Oh, hang on. Let me get this fixed up. Uh, Let me get everything set up. Hopefully, if there's someone in the chat, I know we don't have very many subscribers here, but if someone is in the chat, can you hear me? Actually, I think the voice, the sound is good. Let me just set things up. Hopefully, my guest will be on. And if others want to come on this live stream, you are more than welcome to. The StreamYard is in, the link is in the chat. You just need to show your face before I let you on. When you're backstage, you just need to show your face before I let you on the panel. Today, if my guest shows up, we're going to do a follow-up video or follow-up live stream on an interview that I did, I think about a month ago. I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Breavis. We just talked about a few things about some of the vloggers that he's met here in the Philippines. Made a couple comments, and then there was a guy, a couple of channels that kind of rebuked what we talked about, and we want to follow up and then kind of give them a rebuttal. The channels we are aiming this live stream to would be Nico's Experience and Popeye. In irrelevant channels, obviously. But anyway, keep one thing in mind, guys. All this, what we're going to talk about today, is for entertainment purposes only. So if you're going to get butthurt from what we're going to talk about, then just don't even bother listening. Just go listen to another channel. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Can somebody let me know if you can hear me in the chat? I know there's like 4 or 5 people watching. Let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully, Breavis will come on. I sent him a message. Hopefully, he didn't forget, but let's see what happens. Thank you, Ronaldo Benedicta. Thank you very much. Hopefully, Breavis will show up, and we just kind of go from there. And we'll have some fun. But let's see what happens here. If anybody else is in the chat, let me know. Havoc Master, if you're here, let me know. BK, if you're here, let me know. But hey, it'll be fun. Big Shot Travel, if you happen to be watching this, let me know. Or Jay, if you're watching this and you want to come on, you're more than happy to do so. But anyway, we're going to kind of talk about a few points. What was interesting is I did 2 interviews with Breavis. I did 1 interview, and I put it on another channel. It's about a guy that's, I think Breavis is like early 40s or maybe late 30s. Successful guy coming from the United States. Here in the Philippines, has been traveling around for about a year now. Hey, Breavis, what's happening? Hang on, let me just get you on. Give me 1 second. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Can you hear me? Hang on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just kind of giving. There's only about 10 subscribers. That's about all I got. But basically, what we want to do is we want to get this live stream going. And if somebody picks up this live stream, like Richard Blanc or somebody like that, that would be great. I'm just kind of giving a few of the people that are listening, some in the background, a little bit about what this live stream's about. Just giving them a little background. So basically, Breavis and I think it was about a month ago, we did a live stream. We did a couple of videos. We did 1 video on Breavis. For those of you guys that don't know Breavis, he's from the United States. Young guy, late 30s, early 40s. I can't remember exactly what your age is, Breavis.
40.
Came to the Philippines, has spent almost a year just traveling around. Got a girlfriend that's about 20 years younger, which is good. And then he's just having fun. The guy's successful, and you're going to start seeing a lot more younger guys coming to the Philippines as these guys, as more and more guys are not going to go through the traditional route of having a traditional job like I did. I mean, I'm 65. You know, I worked for a living. Computers weren't even really around when I was around. So now that the computers are around, people are able to make money online. Guys like Breavis are able to basically live anywhere they want. They can, they can live in the States, they can live here in the Philippines, and they can basically live wherever they want. We'll wait a few more minutes, Brevis. We'll get a few more, hopefully get a couple of more people to watch. And then we'll just talk about, I got some points that I just want to ask you some questions on about what what this channel says. Basically, we are refuting Nico's experience and Popeye. That's the two guys that were kind of throwing questions at, kind of making some assumptions about you or about They didn't like what we said. And those of you that are listening, the second video that Brevis and I did, we talked about 4 bloggers that Brevis met. And then we just talked about a couple other things, but we didn't really go after any bloggers or anything. It wasn't a video that was over the top. We didn't bash anybody. It was kind of all, what we said. There's a couple of minor things about some people, and we made a couple of jokes, and that was that. And apparently, like Nico's experience got his panties all up in the uproar, did an emergency live stream with Popeye and kind of came after us. I had to look back at the video, Brevis, to see if we even talked about Nico. Again, we didn't rehearse anything. All I did is basically had a few questions. You came on, I came over, we did a video. So none of this was rehearsed in the previous videos. Nothing has been rehearsed here on this live stream. So I had to actually go back and listen to the video because maybe you did mention Nico. I didn't know. But apparently you didn't. So again, it was kind of strange. But so what I'm going to do is, hey, I'm going to talk about 3 different people today. And I think first, I think we should talk about MJ a little bit. And then we'll move on to Nico second. And then we'll kind of move on to Popeye third and see what you think. Now, I don't know if you heard about the news, but big news across the Philippine genre. MJ the Flipper got married. But before we go into that, can they kind of go over why was MJ the Flipper avoiding you? I don't know if I asked you this on the last video. What's the beef between you and MJ the Flipper? If you can go back over that, I appreciate it.
Oh, he's just a little bitch that runs his mouth, and I mean, he's just a troll. He got shit slapped out of him down in Dumaguete by a 5'5" Filipino, and ran across the street. If he has a different opinion of that instance, well, there's video footage of it, so we can just go to that for proof. I started calling him out. He was talking trash to a few bloggers that I follow and threatening them. I said, well, hey man, threaten me, I'll be there. And he went radio silent, and shortly thereafter he left Dumaguete. He went on the run and then left the Philippines, and then he left YouTube for a few months. I'm not going to say I chased him off YouTube, but the timing is circumspect. I'll let you know that. And I'm happy he got married to a 2, and her teeth, the gaps in her teeth, you could grow corn with those teeth. I'll tell you that. So good for him, but he should not be giving relationship advice out to viewers, because that's just not. Hey, if that's what he wants, that's cool with me. Like, I prefer him a little younger and slimmer. If he likes, those older women with kids, a little heftier, with big gaps in their teeth, more power to him.
Yeah, I mean, basically everybody's got their own choice of women that they like. Actually, when I met up with MJ, I actually had to look for him because he actually saw me, but he didn't stop to even say hello. I actually ran in. I saw him sitting on front of the Why Not, so I stopped and we had a chat. And actually, my wife met his wife, Jane. Seems like she's got it together now. I think what is going to be good for this marriage is that she's got leadership qualities, which he's more of a follower. You know what I mean? So if she leads this marriage, most likely they'll probably make the marriage will work out. And she's already laying down the law. You know what I mean? She's already telling him he's got to shut down his channel because obviously she doesn't want to get into that drama and stuff like that, troll shit. So she's kind of she sees potential in him. So I think she's probably thinking, hey, I can work with this guy. At least she'll get to the States. She can work with this guy. And if she can't, she'll just, get a divorce and move on. That's basically what a lot of Filipinos do. So hopefully things will work out for him. Now, there was a few things I noticed. I don't know, did you see his civil wedding or his reception video by any chance?
I skipped through it a little bit, but no, I didn't really watch it.
Oh, you didn't see it. It's kind of interesting, and she mentioned on the video that there was no lechon. I didn't see any lechon. Maybe there might have been 20 or 30 people at the. I think they might have rented an Airbnb and they're having a little party at the house. I didn't see a photographer. Obviously, there's no venue that they rented. I didn't see a lechon. I mean, how can you have a wedding? Because Filipinos eat pork. I mean, you got to have a lechon, and no lechon, dude. Now they did some catering the food out. I think her sister made the food or whatever, but they probably already know the family that this guy ain't got much money, because even she said the reason there's no lechon is they're saving for their future. I'm a little confused. I thought MJ was like a Bitcoin dude, like made a bunch of money on Bitcoin or something.
Well, I mean, he should have been able to buy a lechon. He's not really paying much for rent back in the United States, living with his parents, is he? I don't think his parents are charging him to rent that room in their house. So his warehouse job, all the billions.
Is he still living at home?
Oh, of course, yeah. A guy like that doesn't have an apartment or a house for sure.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, his Bitcoin fortune probably went from $3,000 to $2,000, and he doesn't want to sell low; he wants to sell high. And unfortunately, Bitcoin's a little low right now, so he doesn't want to cash in that $2,000 of his Bitcoin fortune, and maybe sell a few more rocks on eBay, make another $60 a month. But yeah, he should be saving money, living at home with his parents. He's not paying much in rent. He should be saving money, and he should have been able to buy a lechon.
I would have been banking money. I mean, if I was living at home with my parents, which I moved out at 17, so I never really lived at home with my parents. Once I got out of high school, actually, I left my senior year of high school, I moved out. So I wouldn't really know past that what it's like to live with your parents. But you would think if I would have lived with my parents, I probably would have been banking money. I mean, to make some money, save some money, and then go and get your own apartment or something. But actually, to his advantage, living home with his parents and marrying a Filipina, the Filipinos are accustomed to living with their, like a couple of generations in their house. So for her moving into his parents' house might actually not be hard for her. She might be able to do it, If the mother accepts.
One big happy family, his mom will knock on the door and say, "Mike, come on, breakfast is ready." And they'll wake up and go down to breakfast. And, once she gets a job and starts working, it's probably really quick be making more money than he does at his warehouse job. So we'll see how that relationship goes.
Yeah, I mean, he did mention that he needs to go back. I mean, okay, he came back apparently about a month ago to get married here. He gave everybody an impression when he left in August that he was gonna bring her in on a fiance visa, which I thought was kind of stupid, because you're gonna pay a heck of a lot more fees. Because bringing in on a fiance visa, then you got to get an adjustment of status. There's a lot more fees. And I think he realized better to bring her in on a alien relative visa. At least he'll save some of the, immigration fees, and he can use them fees that he's saving on getting married here, I presume. Now, the question's going to be, he's going to have to get, he's already talking about this, a sponsor to bring his spouse to the United States, because, as you may or may not know, you have to make right around $22,000 a year to be able to qualify to bring your spouse to the United States. I'm not sure if he made 22 grand this past year. And technically, they say you only have to show 1 year's worth of tax returns, but you have more credibility if you show the last 3 years of tax returns. You know what I mean? So the question is, he may not qualify, and so he's probably going to need a co-sponsor to bring his spouse to the United
That's
States.
what mommy's for.
Yeah, I think his parents will probably sponsor her, or maybe his brother. I'm not sure. Don't know. But again, hopefully things will work out for him, and he'll, bring her back to the U.S. But what was interesting is when he came here, he didn't let anybody know that he was here. He was pretending They were pretending like they were in Dumaguete, but they were really in Dasmariñas, Cavite area. There were some people I ran into here. They were looking for him. I mean, damn. I mean, how many? There was one guy here looking for him in Dumaguete, and apparently one of his buddies was in that Cavite area looking for him. So I mean, that's one, two. You were looking for him, and then there's apparently some Filipino 5'6" that he ran into that he said jumped him. I mean, what did this guy do? I mean, how many people are looking for this guy? That's what I don't understand.
Well, maybe that's why his wife's telling him to get off YouTube, because, he runs his mouth and he can't really back it up. And he thinks he's got all these friends going to back him up. But at the end, they're just a pack of gazelles watching. And if something happens to them, they're not going to help them. They just bunch up like a pack of gazelles, hoping that they're going to be the ones spared of the lion just chomping down, eviscerating them. And then at the end,
Yeah.
what are they going to do other than just say, I guess we won't cross that river again? So MJ and his whole crew, bring it on. And MJ, you really, I guarantee that you run your mouth a little too much.
Well, yeah, I think he was messing with. I think the people that I talked to, that one guy that I talked to, I think they might have been supporters of Barry Jordan. I don't know, and I think I remember on Facebook. I don't know how he popped up on my Facebook, but him and Frank was tag teaming Barry Jordan over there on Facebook and putting all kinds of bullshit out on Barry out there in like some kind of Moal Boal Facebook group or some shit. I think that's what I saw. So again, let me switch over real quick in the chat. Pennywise says, "What's going on here to all float? Lechon is a must at a Filipino party, especially for special occasions. Send the message to the family that he's marrying into that he has no money and no expectations of him to help them." Yeah, that's kind of probably what the family's thinking. Again, I don't know, but hopefully, hopefully things will work out for him, bringing her back to the States. And, what's going to be interesting is once she gets to the States and things don't work out, or she starts meeting these older Filipinas and that are Americanized, they're going to be putting all kinds of stuff in her head, And hey, after X amount of years, it only takes 4 years for her to get her citizenship. 3 to 4, about 4, let's just say. Once she gets that citizenship, and if I was her, I'd get that citizenship as fast as possible. Then she's got, she's flexible. She can make moves if she needs to. And if things working out, then she stays with the guy. But hopefully, things will work out between them two. And then they'll have plenty of kids. I hope they have a huge family, 4, 5, 6 kids. That would be great. What do you think of that, man?
Yeah, he might be planning on going on welfare, having kids, getting child care credits. Who knows? He might have a plan to just claim poverty, and she's pregnant. Next thing you know, he's living on the government dole. That's probably make more money on that than he does at his warehouse job. So I don't know, but he's I wish him luck, and maybe look for a better job and sell more rocks online. Might make some more money. But I understand why you didn't want to meet me. I made a post on his welcome back video when he said he was back in the Philippines. I said simple, name a date, time, and place. But that comment got deleted, and he's running scared at this point.
Well, yeah, why now? What is MJ qualified to do? I know he used to be. Was he working for Coca-Cola or something, delivery guy? And I think he got like a triple hernia or something working for that company, so he got some not unemployment, but workman's comp and stuff. I think that's why he came at that last time he came, or the time before that. He got some workman's comp. I think that was before the pandemic, right? I think he had some workman's comp. Once the workman's comp ran out, he went back home. So, what is he qualified to do? Does he have any prior education, any kind of college, or did he even graduate high school? What is he qualified to do?
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't watch his channel too much, but I'd assume he probably has his forklift driver certificate. And guys like that, they're what I call slip and fall guys. Gets a
Oh
job at some
yeah,
warehouse for some company, and then whoops, he goes down, hurts his back, hurts his knee, and then gets workman's comp or disability for a couple years. Just lives off that. Not enough to get his own apartment, but I mean, if you're living at your parents' house and they're paying the rent and paying the bills, and you're just getting your 800 a month workman's comp and sitting around, and most likely that's his MO in life. I.e.,
well,
not to work and earn money and save money, but more just to
float,
scam.
just to get by. Yeah, just to get by.
That's why.
I saw
I
a
think
video.
once he's going to get have kids with his girl out in America, and then
Right.
just every kid he has, that's more food stamp money, that's more child care credits. So and he probably couldn't get a girl in America to pull that scam because he's just not desirable. And so he'll bring out a Filipina out here and just somehow go on welfare. That's probably his plan.
Is it easy to get welfare and food stamps and all that in California?
Oh, it's the cream of the crop for the welfare system. Last I heard, and I haven't really done too much research, but I've heard that it's close to 70% of California receives a form of government assistance one way or another. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, workman's comp that he was on, I don't know if that's true. It probably is true. Yeah, he's probably just gonna scam, find ways to manipulate the system to get free government money, and so what he's gonna do. And good luck to him. I mean, sure, your kids will be really happy to see daddy sitting at home playing video games and shining up rocks to make $60 on eBay. So good luck to him.
Well, it's interesting. I was watching a video one time of his, and he was in the backyard of his parents' house, and he's growing weed plants. So it's kind of interesting now. Are his parents that open-minded? Now, his dad is my age. So, maybe his dad does get high, catch a buzz here and there. So maybe they're into that. Maybe Californians are overall into smoking weed. Is my generation in California into pretty much open-minded about their kids smoking weed? Uh-oh, I think we lost Breavis. Hopefully he'll come back. Let's see if we'll give him a few minutes and he'll come back. Pennywise says, maybe he didn't earn enough money to qualify to bring in a fiance. Let's see. Yeah, Brevis got his internet connection got knocked off. Let's wait a few minutes, guys. Hopefully Brevis will come back on. Here it is. Hey, Brevis, show your. He's in the back. Let's see if that's him. We'll wait a few minutes.
Hey, Gary?
Yeah, is that you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I shut my cam off. Maybe it's causing an issue.
You know what? Yeah, you can keep your cam off. That's cool. No big deal. That's cool.
So I lost you when you said, do the parents accept that? And short answer, yes, they do. He might have told them that, hey, hey mommy, hey daddy, like I want to work in the marijuana industry. I'm learning how to grow, and they got happy that their son is showing
Ah, okay.
passion for something in life. So they might have accepted it, or he might have cashed it in the terms that, oh yeah, I'm learning a life skill, and I'm going to move out of the warehouse, move out of the house, and get a job farming. And I've got all these major cannabis companies. They're going to hire me, and the video of him in the backyard looked like he said he was pulling caterpillars off his plants, or like, one, if you got caterpillars on your plants, you're screwed. What you should do is tear everything down, spray the whole place with caterpillar killer from Safer, makes a good brand, because
Oh,
pulling the caterpillars off is the only difference is maybe instead of losing 90% of your crop, you're going to lose 80% of your crop. And then furthermore, like, you can't really pull the caterpillars off because the biggest, healthiest ones eating the most, they're in the center of the nug, eating it from the inside out. So sometimes, and I've had caterpillars too. We've had them in our gardens, in our cultivation sites, at least some of the outdoor ones. Like, you think you have this big nug and you've picked off all the other caterpillars, but and then you kind of like see the, like, towards the end of the flower cycle, the nug's gonna, it starts to turn discolor and turn a little grayish. You bust it open and it's all just rotted on the inside, filled with caterpillar poop. And there's this
oh,
fat thumb-sized caterpillar on the inside of this. You thought you had a 10-gram nug, and like you basically have to throw it away. And then if you're spraying caterpillar killer uh, past the veg cycle into the flower cycle, well, you're going to fail the pesticide test, because that's the half-life on that's like 60 days to clear out. So yeah, I mean, what very only a total idiot is going to search his garden to pick off caterpillars. Like, that's a beginner grower mistake right there. And like, I mean, I don't blame him. Like, growing outdoors organically is damn near impossible unless you have your parameters completely isolated and down to a T. And a dirty little secret, like, very few outdoor cannabis gardens in California are truly organic, pesticide free. Like, that maybe 30, 40 years ago, but even all the big farms up in Humboldt, like, the caterpillars, they've adapted to the sprays, and California made a lot of the sprays that actually worked illegal. So some guys can just order from like Home Depot in Arizona to get some of the sprays that'll work, and then drive down there, pick them up, and spray their plants. But then it's not going to pass pesticide. And now the industry is pretty well regulated now, so everything goes through lab testing, and it gets the approval through a third party testing lab. I mean, obviously he doesn't have a cultivation license. He's not sending out his product for third party lab testing, but probably just doing it to smoke
yeah, I
himself.
don't
And
think
like,
so.
truthfully, like, he either lost 80 to 90% of his crop, or he sprayed it with caterpillar killer and he's smoking pesticides. And like, some of that caterpillar killer, like, the reason why it's illegal in California is because after it dries and it's heated up, you know what it converts into? Cyanide gas. So you're essentially smoking cyanide gas once this caterpillar killer spray dries up. And that's why most guys, when they get the caterpillars, they just bite the bullet, rip the crop down, start over. So hope he's not smoking cyanide gas.
Well, Brevis, you seem to be pretty knowledgeable about the industry. I know you told me you worked in the industry. Now, if I was MJ and say I wanted to get into the industry, why would I want to be fight with you? If anything, I'd want to be friends with you to learn more about the industry, and maybe make some connections to get into the industry and get a job. I mean, I just don't get it. But again, you know.
Well, a guy like MJ already knows everything. He's got all the connections in the world, right? That's why he can't make 22,000 a year and bring his girlfriend over. So he's hopeless. Like, he's not going to work in the industry, and if he is, he'll be what we call piss boys. Those are like not even at the assistant grower level. They just kind of water the plants, and like, maybe he could be a trimmer, work in a trim house with a bunch of raver kids. Like, we had some our trim team was there were some Korean ladies in downtown LA working in a warehouse where a lot of growers would drop off their crop, have an employee supervise it, and then there'd be like 15, 20 Korean ladies just working in silence, working super fast. But that kind of went south. So our trim team was just a group of raver kids where they'd go to like a rave in the desert for 4 or 5 days and then come back and trim for 3 or 4 days. And then, go to another rave out in Oregon and then come back and trim for 4 or 5 days. And they all lived in this big party van. And honestly, I think half of them were on meth because some of them would trim for like 30 hours straight. And it's like,
Yeah.
So he could maybe join a trim team, but I've tried to trim. It's trimming, like, it takes a certain type of person. Like, it would hurt my eyes more than anything. Some people say it hurts their back from bending over. Some people say it hurts their hands, because a lot of the buds, like, to get that tight manicured trim, it takes time, and you got to get those little interior fan leaves and sugar leaves off there. So yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like most trimmers, we used to pay them through pretty much like by weight. How much they would trim is how much they got paid. The industry's changed a lot. It's matured quite a bit. Drivers.
It's kind of like migrant work, right? Is it kind of like migrant work? It's basically like migrant work.
Yeah. I mean, there's it could be, but true. Yeah, the migrants, they're lawyered up too. So the thing is, like, there's a lot of snitches in the industry too. So if you're using like migrant trim team or like an underground trim team, someone's going to rat you out to the BCC. That's the Bureau of Cannabis Control. So most of the trimmers are unionized, and you can't have them on 1099 forms anymore. They've all got to be W-2'd, and like, you put an employee W-2 in California, and it's like, well, they got a lot of rights now. And then they say, oh, my back hurts from bending over and trimming, and now you get to pay them 6 months workman's comp. So hey, wait, that might work for MJ.
That might work for MJ. If you're listening, this is a good scam. You can do it. I know you can. Again, so well, it's another avenue where he can get some work, because I mean, you really don't want to be a delivery driver the rest of your life. I mean, at 50, 60 years old, pushing a bunch of beer, cases of beer around, or cases of Coke, whatever. Now, you don't want to be doing that. That's for sure. It's okay when you're young, but
yeah,
as you get older,
I don't. I mean, he might try to work in the industry, but the entry level jobs, like, I mean, if you want to be a bud tender, I mean, 15 to 22 bucks an hour. I mean, and we would pretty much start most of our people at around 18, and they could work their way up from there. But I mean, the type of person who works in the marijuana industry, like at the entry level, like, usually they don't have college degrees. Usually they didn't leave a career where they were making $150,000 a year to come be a trimmer or a delivery driver. Most of the bud tenders are, frankly, they're young girls, like, and that's who you want, like, because you want some young, tatted up, pierced up girl, like, super high, to come in and, like, wear revealing clothes, and that's just who bud tenders are. So I mean, MJ ain't getting that job. And trimmers, like, that's work, but I mean, he could pull a workman's compensation scam on that. Drivers, like, our drivers most of them were men, but a couple girls in there, and like, we required that they had a 2010 or newer vehicle registered in their name, because otherwise you just get some, like, kid who's borrowing their mom's car. So I don't know, like, maybe he can get his parents to sign the car over to him so it's registered in his name. But I know that's a lot of the drivers.
He's got a car. I think he's got his own car. I mean, it's pretty easy when you're living at home to have a car payment. You know what I mean? If that's all you got is a car payment, maybe a little rent payment. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's got his own car. I'm hoping he's got his own car. I think, what was it? When Rain Man did that drive-by video like a few years ago, I think I saw his car. But again, $18, $20 an hour. God, I can't even remember the last time I made that kind of money. I think I was in my 20s. Yeah, I think I was in my 20s. I made more than that in my late 20s. Yeah, that seems like a lot of money, but $18, $20 an hour is nothing. It's a pittance. You can't live on that.
Yeah, we went. I mean, there's other jobs, like, it's a mature industry, so he's not going to be a state certified cannabis architect or anything like that. Like he's not going to be a a fixer working with the city council to get permits and licenses established. He's not going to be a master grower. He could start as a piss boy or a trimmer or maybe a delivery driver, but yeah, it's not what people think it was. Like, first of all, it's competitive, and like most businesses, you're looking at a 10 to 20% profit margin. Um, they tax the hell out of you. Landlords, they know, hey, you're a cannabis business, like everybody else in this corporate business park. We're renting for $1,000 a month. We're going to charge you 4,000 a month, and uh, a lot of neighbors, there's this degree of jealousy that happens. So they'll want you to, even if you're not like handling the product, or we call it touching the product at a certain location, like you still got to put in camera systems, security. A lot of places, a lot of landlords will require armed security, and armed security guards. I mean, to get 24 hours, that could cost you close to $1,000 a day right there. I mean, he could be an unarmed security guard, maybe. I mean, he is a big MMA fighter, so we'll see. But I
Well,
think he should just stick to his workers' compensation scams and hope for his inheritance from his parents. That's probably his best bet.
well, yeah, but he's gonna have to split that inheritance like 2, 3, 4 ways or something. I think he's got a couple of brothers. I think got a sister down in Texas or something. I don't know. But anyway, he'll have to split. Look, I don't want to harp too much on MJ. I think that we think we need to move on to the next couple of other guys. But MJ, if you're listening to this, hopefully things will work out for you. One last thing, a couple more things I want to mention. Jane, if you if your relationship with MJ is gonna work out, one thing you need to do right off the bat. Well, two things. Have him shut his channel down. That's one thing, and I think you're already talking about that. But also get rid of two of his friends, and that would be Popeye and Nico. You got to get rid of bad influences of MJ's. These guys are bad influence on him, and we'll talk a little bit more about these two guys. But Jane, if you're listening to this, take my word for it. I've been around for 65 years. I know when people are good influence, and I know when people are bad influence. These two guys, especially the old Shore Patrol Bobby guy, not a good influence. But anyway, we'll get to them in a minute. And other than that, one last thing, MJ, if you're listening to this, please do not ever again drink cognac out of a paper cup. Okay? Cognac is meant to be drank out of a snifter. Now, look, I understand you didn't have any snifters at your Airbnb. At least get a glass. But even a glass, but don't ever drink cognac out of a paper cup, and don't ever mix cognac with any kind of soda. Please don't do that. It really hurts my eyes and my ears when I hear that shit. But anyway, okay. Anything else to say about MJ before we move on to the next guy?
Oh, I'm done with him. Yeah, no, I mean, eventually we will meet MJ. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully when he comes back, he can come to Dumageddon. Nobody's, I'm still skeptical about that story about the 5'6" Filipino that jumped him. I mean, I'm really very skeptical about that story. But again, if that's what he wants to put out there. Okay, great. Again, good luck, MJ and Jane. Hope things work out for you guys, and hope the immigration process goes quickly and smoothly for you. All right, let's talk about the next guy, Nico's experience, and I'm giving them a shout out. So if you guys want to go subscribe to that channel, feel free to do so. Again, I just jotted a few things down that Nico said about you, as well as I. I don't know why he got so bent out of shape. I guess, he thought you were talking about him. So I went back, when the guy did this video, it was pretty much, it was like he heard the video, and then he did like an emergency telephone call to Popeye. I don't know. He's got a hotline at Popeye's house. And then they did a live stream, and he just was going nuts. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind, Nico was drinking throughout the whole live stream. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So one of the first things Nico said, and then again, I went back to the video to see if you talked about Nico or if I talked about Nico. Nothing was ever brought up. No, not his name. Nothing about him was brought up. So I'm not sure what happened. But this is what I want to talk about. Now, one of the first things that Nico implied is that your girl wasn't fine.
Okay. I mean, that's his opinion. I disagree with that, but that's his opinion. So, I mean, let me just establish this right here. Nico's a bitch. Pure and simple. Nico's a bitch. For him to come out and say that, I didn't even know who this guy was. I didn't know he had a channel. We didn't talk about him. I sort of recognized his voice, and then you told me, oh, yeah, they did a 90-minute video with you. Like, sure, maybe he's drinking, but hey, dude, if you woke up in the mirror and looked like him, you'd drink too. So you can't blame the guy. But, I mean, what is, who does he have a girl? Like, does he have to pay for girls? Like, what happened to him? I mean, this is it's ridiculous.
Now, one thing I want to mention again to the audience and anybody that's watching this now and in the future, this is for entertainment purposes. Okay. So if you're going to get your panties in an uproar, please don't watch this video. Just go watch something else. No, now, from my understanding, and again, I really don't follow Nico, but I'm starting to follow him now since he did that live stream about us, because, damn, that's gold. There's a lot of content I can get from there to put on this channel. Now, Nico has no girlfriend. Currently, he's in Colombia, looks like, and he's banging the maid called Margarita. Now, I would rank her as a 2. Okay. Nico likes to go with the big booties and all that. I don't. I like the slimmer type women. But again, I would give her 2, maybe a 3 on a good day. Now, she's the maid. Now, he says there's nothing going on, but he's trying to tongue her during the live stream, trying to stick his tongue down her throat. But she didn't kind of have much of that. Now, she is working. At first, I thought she's working for money because she comes in, apparently cleans his apartment once a week for like 8 hours. And you know what he gives her in compensation? 2 bags of cat litter and 3 bags of some kind of wipes. So that's kind of strange. So again, I don't know what's going on there, but I remember when he was in the Philippines, the first time he came to the Philippines, he even admitted he never got laid. The second time, again, he was banging the maid. So these guys are going after the maid. I don't know. You know, I just don't get it. But maybe that's.
Wait, he came to the Philippines and didn't get laid?
Oh yeah, the first time, and he even admitted it. He didn't get laid the first time. Then the second time he came, I think he was banging the maid again. The maid, whoever was cleaning his apartment. But the first time, he didn't get laid. Everybody knows this. Not even once. I think he was here for a couple of months. So damn, how can you come to the Philippines and be single and not get laid? I don't get it. But again, so you'd have to look at the video. I can't remember what the name of the video is. One of his last 1 or 2 videos, and check out the maid and see what you think.
Yeah, I tried to watch some of his videos, but I mean that's some super low intelligence commentary going on there. Like, you can tell immediately the amount that he swears and cusses. Like, that's what stupid people do when they can't figure out the proper word, don't have the vocabulary to make a coherent thought. They just throw in a bunch of F-bombs and like. So yeah, I mean, like, I really don't watch his channel. It's kind of like, no, I'm not going to say beneath me, but yeah, I just honestly, I feel like my brain is getting stupider every minute I listen to him. I can't do it. I put in maybe 10, 15 minutes, and you can tell me if he starts talking about me, but I mean, Nico, like, I don't know you, you don't know me. Like, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, I'm not allowed to fight you. I know you want to fight, but dude, you're disabled. I'm not going to fight a disabled man. Like, I don't know whether you had a stroke or you had gotten some training exercise accident in the Army and got disabled. I doubt you were kicking down doors in Fallujah and had that accident. I mean, as stupid as you are, I mean, it might have been a simple, like, listening comprehension issue. Like, your sergeant said, pull the pin and throw it. Well, you forgot the second part. You pulled the pin, but you didn't throw it. So, but it sucks to that happened in a training exercise, but is what it is, man. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I presume he was hurt in combat, but I'm not really sure. Again, that's that's not that whatever happened happened. It's unfortunate, obviously, what happened to him, but it happened, and there's not much you can do at this point. And hopefully, you gotta live with it, and hopefully, you over the years you come out from it and you get better from it. But what I would recommend to Nico, if you're gonna grow your channel, swearing on your channel is a no-no. That will not help you grow your channel. Drinking, getting drunk, drinking alcohol while you're doing your channel, that's another big no-no. Subscribers, viewers don't like that, so I wouldn't really do that if I were you. Again, you can do what you want. It's your channel, but that's my recommendation. Now, the next thing I saw, one of the things Nico mentions is that he wants to meet us as a man. I'm not really sure what that is. To me, that sounds like something a bully would say. I've had very little experience with bullies in the past, and what one bully tried to do to me, I already took care of that shit and I had no issues with that. Bullies don't get very far in life, and I'm not sure, if you want to be a bully, that's your choice, but bullies don't get anywhere in life. They really don't.
Yeah, I guess meat
But
as a
again,
man. I guess he's talking one on one, no weapons, and that's fine with me. But I'm in Cebu. I'm at the social watching the World Cup most nights, at least the last couple weeks. So I'm not hard to
well,
find. You can find me.
yeah, I don't have a problem meeting you, Nico, if you're listening to this. I'm not going to look for you like I did looking for MJ. I'm not doing that. So you know where I live. So you can just come right over. You got nothing to worry about. You won't get your ass beat or anything like that. There won't be people waiting for you here. You can come over. Not a problem. If there's any issues with me, just look me up. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, even Ricky mentioned that Nico's a bully, and he may, to me he looks like a bully, but maybe he's not aware that he's bullying people. So again, what can I tell you? Let's see. Oh, but hey, you know what, Nico? Before you come out, I mean, if you need to do your braids or you need to do your laundry and shit, I can give you more time. You don't have to come out to see me on the first day. You get to do Miggetti. Just take care of your other business first, and then when you got some free time, let me know.
Give
One of
him
the
some
things
time to get his. He's got to get his manicure pedicure first.
again, this is for entertainment purposes. All right. If you can't handle this type of entertainment, stop watching and get off this channel and go watch elsewhere. Okay. Look at something different. Let's see. Now, what was not cool is Nico called myself and Bama a moron. He called Bama a moron, and then he calls me a moron, but then he says I'm smart. Oh no, he said I was smart, but then he called me a moron. So he tends to contradict a lot of things that he says. But again, that's Nico. That's Nico.
I mean, maybe he's got. I don't. Did he have a stroke or something? Because he might have had brain damage. I mean, it's
I don't know.
possible.
No, I'm not sure.
Kind
I'm
of
not
looks
sure
like
what
it.
I don't know what his injuries was. A mine, landmine, whatever. I'm not really sure what the injuries was. I don't know. Uh, let's see. You know what was interesting? This live stream was with Sentai 7 on there. Sentai 7 mentions to Nico, and seems to be he's the only one that made any sense on that live stream, that Nico, nobody ever mentioned your name. And what Nico basically said is this is a preemptive attack from him, meaning that we're going to be talking about him eventually. So this is why he's attacking us now. Now, does that make any sense, Breavis?
Well, anytime Ren zeros the word of wisdom, like you need to step back and ask what's going on here. Like man's an alcoholic, but Ren Zero Sentai 7, he falls into what's considered as a feeder, and it's pretty prevalent in the Mexican American community. And what a feeder is it's a man that wants his wife or girlfriend to get fat, so they keep feeding them and they get fatter and fatter to prevent other men from finding her attractive or sexy and trying to steal her away. It has to do with low self-esteem issues amongst others, but Ren Zero falls into a classic feeder terminology. So maybe that's Renzero's got some words of wisdom to Nico, so I would listen to the man.
Yeah, you know what was interesting is towards the end of the live stream, Ren Zero was basically saying that hey, Popeye came after him, and there was a few other vloggers that came after him and Chixie hard, and then Popeye didn't want nothing, didn't hear none of that shit. So why didn't Nico stick up for Sentai when Popeye and Roberto and all them other trolls came after them hard? See what I mean?
Well,
so Nico's gonna come after us.
Popeye goes after anybody who's in the Philippines because Popeye's jealous. So if you're in the Philippines, like automatically Popeye's jealous of you. He hasn't been here in 30 years. He hasn't been laid in 25 years. So yeah, Popeye's going to be jealous immediately. And I remember, yeah, Popeye used to go after Ren Zero all the time. And all of a sudden now they're buddy. So
right. So and the thing is, if Nico's going to come after us for talking about somebody or whatever, and we didn't even talk about him, why don't he, why don't he stand up for his buddy Sentai? I mean, he's friends with Sentai. Why not tell Popeye, hey man, why you want to dog his wife? I mean, they call Trixie a whore, all kinds of stuff. You know, that's what Popeye and them guys did. So they really trashed Trixie big time. And Nico didn't say anything to Popeye about that. You know, and Sentai's his buddy. So again, hypocrites. No
loyalty, no morals, no character. That kind of fits the criteria for all of them.
Yeah, but they talk about how loyal they are to their buddies, how they're in this exclusive club. I don't know. I don't want to be in that club anyway. Nico also mentions that I hate MJ. I don't hate anybody. There's no reason to hate MJ. That's for damn sure. And one other thing that Nico talked about is that if somebody looked at his girl, remember how you said Frank was oogling your girl? Nico said if somebody was oogling his girl, he would beat their ass. Now, to me, anyone that would get upset over somebody looking at their girl are generally insecure about their relationship, about themselves. If somebody looked at my wife, which they did, there was guys looking at my wife, and she's older in Chicago, and I didn't say nothing. You know, I'm pretty much secure in my relationship. So anybody that's going to get bent out of shape is somebody looking at their girlfriend are generally insecure about themselves or their relationship with their girl.
Or he could have just been drunk, running his mouth. But yeah, dude, if I was going to get in fights with people looking at my girl, I'd have to fight 40 people a day. I mean, every time we go out in public, like people stare. So, I mean, Frank looking at my girl wasn't a big deal. It was just like he did it right in front of Gilda. And like the four of us are sitting in his living room and he's kind of like just staring at her, and like Gilda's right there, and you could kind of tell Gilda looking out of the corner of her eye, and like it just made the whole scene uncomfortable. Like, you don't disrespect your not wife, but live-in partner like that. But if Frank's invited on this show, by the way, I told him to come on, and I don't think he's going to come on.
He's doing a live stream. He's doing a live stream right now.
Yeah,
it looks like he's doing a live stream right now.
Well, that's 10 times a day. But yeah, Nico, ain't nobody looking at your maid. I mean, if looking at you, Nico, like, I mean, I try not to pass judgment on another man's appearance, but dear God, man, like, I mean, I understand why you're drinking so much. Like, I get it. So I probably wouldn't stare at a girl that you're with. That's just, I can just let you know that right now. I wouldn't be staring at her. I prefer him a little younger and thinner, just to let you know.
Yeah, I like him thinner too. I don't like him thick like that. One of the things I want to mention again that I noticed on Nico's live stream, please, Nico, please do me a favor. Do not drink cognac out of a paper cup. Do not ever mix any kind of soda with cognac. I understand you may not have a snifter to put the cognac in, but at least get a regular glass. Cognac is to be drank after a meal as digestive purposes, and it's not to be chugged out of a bottle. You just don't do that.
Yeah, even putting it on the rocks is frowned upon in a lot of circles.
Yeah, you do not put cognac on the rocks. You do not put cognac in the refrigerator. I don't even drink Hennessy. Not even a Hennessy XO, which is an up brand of Hennessy. I don't even drink Cavassier. If you're gonna drink cognac and you're gonna brag about it, do at least do Martell, Martell or Remy Martin. I like Martell, to be honest with you. But please, please, do not mix cognac with anything, nothing. I mean, if you did that, you were in France, you did that, you'd get thrown out of the bar. They would at least ask you to leave, but you probably would get thrown out of the bar. It's just not something you want to do. Let's see. Now, Nico's talking about getting pussy every weekend in Colombia. Every weekend he gets pussy. It's very easy. He said he's got game. What do you think about that?
Whew. I mean, whatever keeps him going. I mean, keep telling those lies to yourself. Like, let's see him on camera, Nico. And my question would be: one, how much are you paying them? Two, let's see what they look like. And three, let's do a little interview with them. Yo hablo un poco español, so I mean, you can do it in Spanish if you want. I'll understand. And uh, have a little game like, well, dude, you came to the Philippines for 2 months and didn't get laid. I mean, like, it's like fishing with dynamite out here, man. So for him not to get laid in the Philippines is just, I'm at a loss for words, really.
And they do fish with dynamite out there, I tell you. Yeah, again, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe he was just taking a break from all the women that he bangs in the U.S. I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't know. Now, here's the thing, though. I watched one of his videos, and he said that he got really mad because some woman stood him up. He had a date, and she didn't show up. She ghosted him. And then about a day later, 10 hours later, she texted him. The reason she didn't make it because she had to go to the cemetery. And he was pissed off. I mean, he was calling women bitches and everything. Nico, another thing you want to do, if you want to get subscribers to subscribe to your channel and watch your videos, do not call women bitches and keep calling them bitches throughout the whole video. Nothing to get mad about. If a woman ghosts you, which it doesn't happen to me, I've never been ghosted by a woman, but I guess it happens to you. That's okay, dude. You're in Colombia. It's a third world country. Plenty of other women that you can get. Not a problem. Don't worry about it. If the woman stood you up, that's okay. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of other ones. What do you think on that subject, Breavis?
Yeah, I mean, he might have been so upset. Maybe he prepaid her before, and she took the money and ran. So, I mean, I'd be upset too if I had to pay a woman and
Yes.
I gave her the money up front, and then she cancels, and you got to reschedule, but then you got to pay again. So, he's got reason to be upset.
Are you insinuating that he's buying women?
No, I think he's got lots of game, and he doesn't need to bang the maid that's a two and pay with kitty litter. I mean, he probably just uses his game, and he's getting all these hot Colombian models for free. So, no, I'm definitely not insinuating that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to pay to play, that's cool. That's your choice. I don't pay to play. I mean, we all indirectly kind of pay to play, but again, that's his choice. But another thing that was interesting from our world traveler Nico is that he got ripped off the other day from one of his buddies. He was drinking with some guy, I think in front of his condo or wherever he's at. Then they went down the street at a bar or something, and then somebody was trying to charge him twice as much for some liquor or something like that. So again, brushing up with the locals, they're not your friend, the locals. They just want to make money off of you. And I think he needs to understand, but I don't think he does.
He'll learn the hard way on that one. Yeah, I'm not. I love Filipinos, and like I've been here over 6 months, and I spent a year here in 2012, and I really didn't have too many deep relationships with the Filipino men and the locals. A lot of reasons, but it's something that I don't necessarily avoid it, but it doesn't happen organically, and a lot of them, they go in for what I consider the long con, and like they're going to eventually ask you for money, and then whether you're going to pay or not, and like, hey, are you going to buy them drinks? You got, you want to party and go out with the locals. Cool. Well, then the bill comes, and what happens? Who's paying? Well, Nico was paying, and I've had that happen to me once or twice with Filipinos, and like, didn't damage me too much, but I still, when that bill comes, then you find out, like, are they reaching for their wallet and paying, or are you paying, or are they in cahoots with the bartender, like charging you double? So, um, especially I think living in some red light areas like he does, they prey upon the tourists. So, good luck to him mingling with the locals. It could end pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, I would suggest that he watches himself mingling with the locals. But again, that's his choice. Uh, and down there, somebody messes with you, there's gonna be two, three, four people jumping you. So again, I don't care how bad you are or how bad you think you are, you really should be careful. You know, that's just words of wisdom from us, from people that are experienced travelers. Okay, let's see. I don't have much else to say to Nico. Hopefully, this answers any question that Nico had about us. Oh, one last thing, Nico. Don't carry a flask with you, dude. You even said you carry a flask with you when you go out. You don't need to be drinking all day long when you go out. Anyone that carries a flask probably has a drinking problem. Maybe I would suggest you get some help and get off the bottle, but you don't need to carry a flask with you, bro. All right, now let's talk about the next guy, Brevis. Uh, the short patrol Bobby is what we're gonna call him.
The assistant cook.
Yeah, I think he was a cook. But again, hey, whatever his situation was, that's his situation. But again, it's kind of he's trying to. One of the things I noticed, he was trying to rally the troops on that live stream, trying to get people to get pissed off at us and stuff on that video we did. And one of the first things he said is that he will skull fuck your spinner. That's what he said.
Yeah, so first, like, he'd have to be able to get it up, which he hasn't done for years. He hasn't been with a woman for years. He's admitted this. He's admitted he's never coming back to the Philippines. Whether it's a financial issue or what, I don't know. He knows. Um, and yeah, she is a spinner. That's for damn sure. And skull fuck my spinner. Like, that's an interesting choice of words. Some misogynistic overtones to it. Um, but yeah, Popeye, I'm not too worried about him at this point. He's irrelevant in the community. Like, it's actually really sad that he's still living in his late 80s, early 90s Subic days, and he's got a lot of anger in him. And like, I kind of see where it's seeded from. If he was, a cook, assistant cook in the Navy on the ship, like, he's kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. All the other, he's what, 5'6".
If
So
that.
calls himself Popeye. That's like, maybe that was a derisive nickname for him because he's really scrawny, and so people would call him Popeye. Joking like he's really strong, and in actuality, he's scrawny. So I'm guessing that was somewhat of a derogatory nickname for him. And then I guess, like, if he's doing shore patrol in Subic, well, Shore Patrol's not allowed to go inside the bars except to remove unruly patrons from the bars because they've got to stay sober. They've got to, not allowed to cavort with prostitutes, not allowed to kind of go out and have fun out in Barrio Barreto at the Midnight Rambler. So he might have been posted up at the Midnight Rambler, standing outside, watching all the seamen, his fellow seamen, going in and out, grabbing girls and bringing them back, going to the short time hotels, and maybe they were saying, "Oh, this girl's really good. This girl's great. We've all had her," and that might have been the one Popeye married, brought back to the States, and a couple years later she left him for a brother. So Popeye's got a lot of anger, and he's probably got a lot of regrets in life. Didn't really accomplish much, and now he just trolls the YouTube community, hating on people that are here. And I understand Popeye doesn't like me. I mean, I'm young, he's old. I'm tall, he's short. I'm good looking. He's not. I got money. He doesn't. I'm in the Philippines. He isn't. So he's got a lot of anger towards me, and it's probably not going to change because I'm going to stay here in the Philippines, and I'm going to keep having a great time, and keep having girls, and have a beautiful girlfriend. And you ain't going to skull fuck nobody. You ain't going to fuck nobody, and especially not my spinner. So, Popeye, put your money where your mouth is.
Well, he has no girlfriend. That we all know. Pretty much no girlfriend. I mean, he's always on his live streams. He's got. I would really bet against it. He has no girlfriend. Now, I would probably say that he periodically. I would probably take a guess, and I'm probably right, that he probably goes to, I don't know, you've been down to Florida? Because Florida is kind of like have and have nots. There's a lot of trailer park. So he's probably going down to get these trailer park uh, hookers that are hooked on drugs, get a blowjob, probably $20, I'm sure, or something like that. So that's probably how he gets his kicks. But no, he's got no girlfriend. Uh, I'm not even sure the last time he even got laid, man. Probably when he was married, right? I would have to say. How long has he been
I'm guessing
divorced?
sometime back in the Clinton administration, it might have been.
Clinton. Holy shit! Now Popeye talks about mentioned that I was a communist, a liberal leftist communist. The way these guys got all bent out of shape on this little video that we did, man. That to me are signs of liberals right there. I mean, we didn't even say anything. They got all bent out of shape. They're gonna get all freaked out on this video on this live stream we're doing now. If they got freaked out on that other one. So again, one other thing he called you a man child, and he said that you have Similac breath. What does he mean by that?
What does Similac breath mean? I'm actually not familiar with that
Oh,
term.
Similac. I never. When you're a baby, like it's the women uh, that don't. Well, it's like you're still on your mom's tit, basically. Similac is like a milk that women feed their kids if they don't breastfeed. But he's kind of saying also that you're on your mom's tit, that basically you're on your mom's tit. You're sucking off your mom's tit. You're living off your parents. That's basically what he's saying. And then you're a man child, a child in a man's body. Now, to me, somebody that would have Similac breath are generally people that are older that live at home with their parents. Wouldn't you say?
Well, he lives with his daughter, right? It's his daughter's husband's house, and they got a spare bedroom that he stays in. Um, so like living off my mom's teeth, like okay, like same as you. I moved out when I was 17. Um, I've helped my mom with a significant amount of money over the past 10 years. Like we'll call it 350K. So no, I don't receive money from my mom. I don't get a check from the government. I've earned my money. I have helped my family out. I don't crash on my daughter's couch with her husband because I can't afford my own apartment. I was first of all, Popeye, I was capable of buying a ticket to the Philippines and coming here. You're not. So that let's just establish that first. Um,
Well, he's
so
waiting for his third check before he comes to the Philippines. He's got two checks now. One from the check that he got from the government. Now, the government check, you put in 20 years. Now, I think he did 6 years in the military, then came out, worked for the post office as a mailman or some shit, did another 14, so he got his 20 in that way. And then he went and did a Frank. He worked for his park district where he lives and got another check like that. Probably worked the minimum amount, got a check, and now he's waiting for his Social Security check at 62.
yeah, wait, isn't he like 65 already? I mean, he's got to be
No, dude. No,
pushing.
he looks about 70, but no, he's just turned 60, 59, 60. Now, one thing I want to do, I want to clarify that you were making a mistake on. The house is in his name. It's a quick claim deed that he did. It's an old trick that scamming families do. What he did back, I think, on that on that quick claim deed back in, was it '05 or '07, something like that. He did a quick claim deed. His parents deeded that house to him. I think it would cost $10 to do that. And they pretty much deeded all their assets to him so that they look poor, so that they can get more government subsidies from the state of Florida. That's what a lot of families do that. They do that. So they
pay attention, MJ. Pay attention, MJ.
They scam the system. Yeah, that's an old trick that a lot of families do. That it only costs about $10 to do a quick claim deed. So yeah, it's not his daughter's house; it's his house, and he'll do that as he gets older. He'll deed the house to his daughter so that he'll look like he'll have nothing, so that he can get more benefits.
Maybe he's already quick claim deeded over to his daughter and to get more benefits. Like,
I don't think
we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not running a background check on him. Like, I assume if there's a way to scam and manipulate the system, like Poop Eye's probably doing it. So I mean, we don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to believe what he says. Like, I mean, you believe what he says. He was a Navy SEAL kicking down doors in Fallujah and, sniper instructor and all that. So it's I don't put a lot of stock into his opinion and what he says. Like I said at the beginning, he's damn near irrelevant. I actually kind of feel sorry for the guy. I don't troll his channel. He doesn't put out a lot of content anymore. I'm not subscribed to him. Back in the old Riff Raff Radio days, I listened to him, and it's a joke. I used to love those Popeye shorts. I wish he'd bring them back, and he might actually do one on us. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he probably will. He should. I mean, it'll keep him busy. Might as well do something. I mean, there's more to what happens. What does he do after the football season? You know what I mean?
think he watches a lot of General Hospital. He's mentioned that he's a super fan.
With his lap dog Hector sitting on his lap there. Now, any real man would not have a lap dog. Real men have dogs, not lap dogs. But again, that's.
Do you think he got out of the Navy back in the don't ask, don't tell days? He was kind of forced out of the Navy.
No, way back in the '80s, they didn't have that till the '90s, right? Don't ask, don't tell. I thought.
Well, that's why I think that's when back in the early '90s, I think he got out, and that was the Clinton administration.
I think he got out before Clinton, but I know he definitely didn't put 20 in. I don't even think he put 10 in. I think he put 2. I think what was it? You signed up for 3 or 4 years back in the day, back in the '80s. I think he
might have been quietly forced out under the don't ask, don't tell policy. They might have said, "Hey, man, we don't want your kind in our Navy."
Maybe that could be, yeah.
Because you've opined that he might be gay. I don't know, but there's a lot of suspect things.
Yeah, I think a lot of people suspect that he is gay. I mean, come on, who can go without a woman for 20, 25 years? I mean, and then why did his wife really leave him? And you said for her brother? Did she leave him for her brother? You still there, Breavis? You might have got knocked. I think Breavis might have got knocked off, or is he still here? Well, we're towards the end here of this live stream. Yeah, he did get knocked off. Hopefully he'll pop back on real quick and we can finish up this live stream. We're almost at the end here. And I'll wait a few minutes. And we'll see if he pops back on. Might have got a bad connection there. My internet is still good here, so we're still good here. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you're people that are watching in the live stream, either give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Appreciate it. Any help will do. Hey Breavis, if you're listening to this, if you can pop back on real quick, we can probably end this in about another 5 or 10 minutes, and we will be done if you're able to come back on. Again, guys, if you're listening to this live stream, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? Doesn't mean everything that we talked about is true here, but pretty much most of it is. And don't get butthurt. If you just don't like what we're talking about, then just get off this channel and go into something else. That's what I would recommend. Here it is. I'm gonna add them back on. There you are. There you are, dude.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. I'm using the hotel's Wi-Fi here, so I don't know if it's not the greatest.
Yeah, we're almost done anyway. Let me just bring a couple more things real quick. Let's see. Basically, they're saying I'm fanning the flames, which I'm not. This is just we're doing a live stream or video for entertainment purposes. We didn't use any faces. We didn't put anybody's address out here or their name or anything like that. One of the things I noticed is Popeye is jealous because I'm diving. I don't quite understand that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe because I'm here in the Philippines having fun and he's sitting at home doing nothing. Maybe that's it. I mean, look, there's more to do than just getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, going down to the VFW hall, having breakfast, talking about old times, the 80s and 90s with your buddies there. There's more to it than that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, get back to doing Popeye shorts. I mean, at least you were being productive. I mean, not watching General Hospital with your 7-pound chihuahua sitting on your lap and trolling YouTube channels. So I think Popeye can do something with his time. I mean, come on, Popeye. Let's see you do it.
Yeah. And one last thing, or a couple last things. They're saying that I'm using you as a mouthpiece. Hey, man, I just interviewed Breavis. Breavis came on. We didn't talk about what we were going to talk about. This is all just from, it's all raw, man. We don't, we didn't get together and talk about what the questions were or any of that stuff. All the questions that I just threw out there to him, he didn't know it was coming. There's going to be one final question, though, that you don't have to answer if you don't want to, that I'm going to throw out there. Here it comes, Breavis. There's the words going around that you're Russ Bundle. Is that true or false?
No, that's not true. Not true.
Okay. So that puts that to rest. Is there any parting words, anything you want to say before I bring this live stream to an end?
Yeah, I mean, we're like, we had no prior conversations about this. It was just a simple, hey, you want to come on my show? I didn't know Gary before this. Jerry, Jerry, yeah, that's what I meant. Is it with a J or a G?
It's with a G. Sentai 7 does the same thing. Calls me Gary all the time. I don't get it, but again, you know.
Well, yeah. Once again, that even further proves my point of how well I know you. Like, I randomly met you at a restaurant in Valencia. Right. Like, it was random. It was truly random. So we just started talking and said, hey, come on down. I'm staying in Bokong, and we did a little interview. Might have ruffled some feathers, but that's life. I'm not too worried about it. And I'd love to do another live stream with you again. I'm happy to have you we came on the show together, and I got a feeling there'll be a few rebuttals and follow up live streams about this done by some other people that were discussed today. And this is entertainment purposes. Like we don't have to talk about the troll community. Like we talk about diving, life in the Philippines. So I might even get a YouTube channel myself going eventually. So that'll.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, if we talk about other stuff, we can talk about it on the other channel. If you want to talk about your experiences in the Philippines and stuff like that, more than happy to bring you on the other channel. We can do more videos there, talking about other people here, talking about some of these trolls here or refuting these trolls. I have to use a channel like this because these guys will do anything to strike my channel. They can strike this channel. I really don't give a shit, But the other channel, I worked on it for quite a few years and, got a good following going, and I'm helping a lot of other people, getting themselves ready to come to the Philippines with the other channel, and I don't want to, lose that channel. But yeah, man, again, for for those of you guys listening, hopefully Breavis will come out with a channel himself, and he's been here for almost a year. You're going on a year now, right? January will be a year.
No, I got here in May. It's just been a little over 6 months.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm about half the time in Cebu. The other half I'm traveling around.
Right.
Did a big trip around the Visayas on my motorcycle. I flew out to Palawan for 3 weeks, traversed the whole island. Did a little Manila, Angeles, Baguio trip. Spent some time in Bohol. I'll be there for about 20 days coming up in a couple weeks, spending Christmas and New Year's in Bohol, and then I'll be in Cebu for most of January, and then doing some more trips. And then, once I'm here for a year, I want to settle down and find an apartment, condo, and live there for, the next 5 years or so. I want to get a dog. I want to get a fish tank. I used to have a fish tank back in California.
So you want to establish yourself here?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about buying a house or condo. If the dollar goes up to in the 60s, low 60s, I probably would get a condo, but some of these places are really small and really expensive here in Cebu near the Ayala Mall, which is kind of the area I'd like to be in. So we'll see. I mean, I got a few options as of now. I'm just traveling and enjoying time with my girlfriend and just having good times. So I'm not I'm a butterfly in the wind, so to speak.
Hey, at least you're doing what you say you're gonna do. Now look, if you're here in May, Nico's coming, I think February or March. You may have an opportunity to meet Nico, because he's most likely gonna be flying into Cebu. You froze up again. All right, guys. I think Breavis is going to get knocked off here. He's losing his internet connection. So what I'm going to do is look at let's see what else. Pennywise says, question, how do you feel about Biggie funding a trip for a bully to confront vloggers in the Philippines? Let's see if Breavis comes back on one more time. We'll wait a few minutes. See if he comes back on, and he might be able to answer that question. And if not, we'll bring this sucker to an end. Let's see if he pops back on real quick. And let's see. Let's see if he comes back on. Wait. Let's see. Anyways, rejected. Okay, hang in. I gotta put the link back on. Hang in. Let me see if I can put this link back on in the chat. Let's go to it real quick. Give me 1 second. Breavis, I'll put this link back on in the chat. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, let me see if I can put it right back in here. Here it is. There's the link. It's in the chat if you want to come back on real quick for a couple of minutes. And we can answer Pennywise. Pennywise retracted all his. Okay. Vloggers in the Philippines. See if he comes back on. Wait a few minutes. Anyway, guys, hope you guys like this live stream. It was for fun, entertainment purposes only. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personal. If you're listening to this, if you can't handle this type of entertainment, then I would suggest you don't listen to it. Or just listen to another channel. Okay, looks like Breavis may not be able to come back on due to his internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this live stream to an end. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. If you guys can give me some more thumbs up or thumbs down, that would be great. Whatever you want. And we'll catch you guys in the future on some other live streams. All right. Thanks a lot for coming, everybody. Breavis, thanks a lot for being on the show. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to everybody on the next live stream.